Okay, so the Life at Work portal is like a shell that sits on top of the benefits web. And it offers the access to single sign-on without re-signing on to different parts or even other vendors. So the retirees can go and see their pension checks, they can change their tax withholding for the pension checks, and they can change their direct deposits for their pension checks without logging in again for another vendor, another carrier's website. An active employee, Lockheed Martin would like them to go to the Life at Work portal from their LM People page. And where they see their pay and benefits, then there is a single sign-on link, a click to the Employee Service Center online, and then they can view their benefit information, change their personal information if they've moved and now they need to change their address, but they don't have to sign in again using all their credentials. And why it was such a huge culture shock was the fact that initially all our PINs were 4 digits, and you could use it when you called the service center or when you went online. It didn't make a difference. But then with the concern around security and your personal information, they opted then to go with a separate PIN for calling and a separate password for going online. So that's why the change, and it all happened in 2013. And we're still kind of sort of working with some issues. Right now, currently, we have some new hires whose data, when it was loaded, was not correct. So we have about 40 new hire employees who have been calling because they don't have access to the Employee Service Center online to make their new hire elections. And the reason being is the data was not correct, so we've had to wait till we get the corrected data, and we're going to make sure that they have enough time to make those elections. Their enrollment window will be then extended past the 30 days that they would initially have to complete them. Okay. So that's why, and the reason we wanted to be sure that we got this training in was so that when you're looking at this information, when you do go live and start taking calls, you'll know, give you some troubleshooting and hints to sort of figure it out. So then you can offer, research if needed, or it may be just a matter of you being able to enable their LM People ID or their social, depending on who the caller is. Okay? I know that's a lot. It'll all make sense the more you do it and the more practice. I know that they had given you some test IDs. Have you been able to get those to work and see the website, and so you know where everything is? Right. Because it's a little different. The site will look a little different for a retiree than it does for an active employee. And the main thing, if you get the call from someone who has a password reset, it's always good to know that the first screen they get is going to possibly request they update their email address, and then they answer security questions. And when we look at the portal, they have to select 5 different questions with 5 different answers, and of course their email address has to be current. And then they select continue. When they select continue, it takes them to the home page of the website. So it's good to know that the next step they need to take is completely update their profile, and that is under the preferences link at the top of the website, at the very top of the website. And if you have, do you have access to the internet? If you go to LMC dot, and the website's also in the handout from today. It's lmc.lifeatworkportal.com. And I'm glad you were on the benefits website with the summary plan descriptions. That's very helpful when you have a salaried person on the phone. Yep. lmc.lifeatworkportal.com, and it's all spelled out. And you should get a login page. Yep, you have one. Does everyone have the dark with the satellite, the login page? Not yet?
Let's see.
You got it?
Do I have to get out of Yeah, mine's sitting there.
Yeah. And a lot of times the access in here sometimes is, you have to kind of work with it.
Just type it in.
So if you put in the 988717 is the user, the login ID. 988717.